Have you noticed that the world has gotten a lot more complex? Just knowing a bunch of facts doesn't really cut it anymore. These days, it's a lot harder to tell the good guys from the bad guys. And facts alone just aren't enough. You're not the only one that noticed, though. The good guys have realized that it's the web of relationships between people, places, events, and ideas that really matter. These days, the danger isn't so much from big armies that you can see coming from miles away. The scary stuff now is really small groups of bad guys who form little networks to do bad stuff. And those networks form in the middle of the night, cause mischief, and then disband and disappear. And then reform again into new networks to dream up new bad things. The problem is that all the data that's supposed to help prevent this is stuck in neat little tables and rows in some old database designed in the 1970s. And none of it is related to anything else. So it's really hard to know what facts are important, what really matters, and all that disconnected data. But what if you could clearly and easily see all the connections within the data you have now, and how all those facts are related? So the good guys could see who was giving money to the bad guy who was buying the stuff that the other bad guy was going to use to make the device that yet another bad guy would use to do the bad thing. Then you might really start to see how all the pieces were related, what pieces mattered, and what was really going on. So the good guys have started paying a lot of attention to the relationships between all those facts and building their own networks to understand what the bad guys are up to, and more importantly, how to stop them. Okay, all that sounds great if you're some super secret good guy, right? But what if you're not? Well, what if you needed some banker guys to give you some money to hire some cool folks to get some stuff to build a neat device that a bunch of cool folks could use to do something really, really good? Like save the planet. Or help an old lady across the street. Wouldn't it help to know how all the pieces fit together? How all the people were connected? And what might get in the way? Because we all have plenty of data. We just can't always see how all the pieces are related. And it's in those networks that all the knowledge and the power is. Basically, if you have data, then there's a network of relations that tie it all together. When you can see those relationships, then you have knowledge you can use.
Hello, my name is Kevin Hart, and I lead the Digital Foresight practice for NIIT Technologies. And I want to speak to you for a minute about behavior trajectories and what we bring to you. Behavior trajectories is actionable business intelligence. It's actionable business intelligence that allows you to see, hear, and understand rapidly evolving risk inside your organization posed by employees, contractors, suppliers, and even customers. Behavior trajectory is an actionable business intelligence that takes all information from outside, all social media, all open domain information, fuses it with your internal cohort, and allows you to have that understanding in real time of rapidly evolving risk. In time for you to mitigate risk, interdict risk. It is business intelligence. It's big data at its finest. It's predictive analytics at its sharpest point of the spear that allows you to take action. It's not capital expense. It's not shrink wrap. It's built for you and the markets and customers you serve. Behavior trajectory is all about your people and the people that touch and present to you rapidly emerging risk. The great thing about behavior trajectories from Digital Foresight is it's expense neutral. In fact, it will drive down expense and loss materially and in a sustainable way inside your overall business within 12 operational months. Digital Foresight's behavior trajectory will save lives, save assets, save corporate reputation, and save a lot of turmoil in your organization. Let's talk about aviation. Behavior trajectory will enable you to understand that a member of that flight crew should never be on that flight. Behavior trajectory will identify rapidly decaying behavior through postings and information that's in the overall world and will allow you to understand clearly a rapidly evolving risk of adverse behavior by an individual.